2017. I hope you had a great new year. As you can see, I'm still hanging on to Christmas a little bit with my lights, but I figured it's still the winter, so, you know, that's fine. So now that it's 2017, my thoughts have kind of shifted to the goals that I want to achieve this year and just different things that I want to pay more attention to. I thought of 3 goals that I want to achieve at the beginning of 2017 that I hope will carry out into the rest of the year and for the rest of my life. I want to share those with you today. But first, I want to share the way that I set my goals so that I set myself up for success and I make sure that I am able to achieve my goals. The first thing that I do when I think about what goal I want to set is just to think about what it is that I want to change. What I do is I apply the SMART goal method to my goals. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Specific just basically means what is it exactly that you are going to accomplish. Measurable just makes you think about how will you know when your goal is met. So what will you see? What will you do? What will that look like when that goal is achieved? Is your goal achievable? Which basically means, do you have the resources to reach that goal? I do know what resources I can use, like YouTube, Pinterest, or buying a book or surfing the internet. So that's how I know it can be attainable. Relevant means, why is this goal important? Or why is it significant? Last but not least, is your goal timely? And that just means, when's the end point? When will you achieve this goal? Will it be in 1 month? 2 months, 3 months, by spring break, by the summer? It's gotta have a time endpoint. What I like to do is write down the SMART acronym and write 1 sentence for each letter answering the question that it asks. So for specific, I answer how my goal is going to be specific. And just writing it down or typing it out alone really helps the goal stick in my brain. So now we're gonna move on to part 2, and I'm gonna share with you what my goals are for 2017. For my first goal, I was thinking about how I could be more minimalist, and to get more specific with it, I thought about how much extra money I spend every week on food. Because I am a foodie, and of course, I love food, I love cooking, so naturally I spend a lot of money on it. I spend a lot of time at the grocery store. I spend a lot of time reading recipe books, so yeah, it's just how it is. But I really hate that food goes to waste, and I know there is a ton of stuff in my fridge and pantry that has just accumulated over time that I really need to use up. What I decided to do was set myself a food budget, so 1 amount per week that I can spend alone on groceries. And then at the end of the month, I'll see how realistic it was and if I can continue on that budget, or if I need to bump it up, or if I can even spend less than that. In order to achieve that goal, the first thing I'm gonna do is clean out my kitchen. I am gonna go through my cupboards, my pantry, my fridge, freezer, and get rid of all the stuff that is not good anymore, and then I'm going to consume the stuff that is good, because that will save a lot of money. So I'm gonna pull out those half bags full of pasta and different grains and different things like that, and use them for over the next couple weeks so that I don't purchase anything new. When I did a little bit of research, a lot of the websites that I read recommended that you spend roughly 9 to 14% of your monthly income on food. Now, I believe that food and healthy, real, nutrient-dense food is a really good investment into your future. So I wanted to go more towards the upper part of the percentage, like the 14%, but when I calculated it out, 9% I felt like was actually realistic for our income. So I'm gonna go with 9% for this first month just to see how it goes. I'll know that I've met the goal because I'm gonna keep track of my receipts, which will be really difficult because I tend to just throw them away, or they get lost somewhere in my car or at the bottom of my purse. So I'm gonna have to keep my receipts. The resources that I'm going to use are YouTube, Pinterest, the internet, different cookbooks I have to find all the budget-friendly meals. This goal is relevant to me for a few reasons. Firstly, I think that we are so blessed with what we have and the amount of money that we are able to spend on food, and I don't want to be wasteful. So that means a lot to me, not to be wasteful, not to be throwing away food, because we're so lucky that we're able to afford it and enjoy going to the store and not thinking constantly about our budget. Secondly, I want us to be able to save money to spend on other things and other goals that we have. My second goal of 2017 is to decrease stress. So I am very type A. I tend to be very tense, and I have a little bit of perfectionism in my personality, which tends to increase my cortisol levels throughout the day, which we all know is really not good for our health. And no matter how much kale you eat, if you're stressed out all the time, you're never going to be completely healthy. And instead of just accepting the fact that I'm a stressed, tense, anxious person, I want to do something about it, and I want to see what different exercises and different ways of thinking and different techniques I can add to my life that might help decrease my stress. When I thought about things that I know make me feel good and make me feel relaxed, I instantly thought of getting facials and massages. And I know that probably sounds really over the top, but I don't get them very often. I think I've had 2 massages in my whole life, and I do get a facial probably like once a year at this point, which is really nice because typically it always includes like a neck and a chest massage, which feels amazing, and you're getting beautiful glowy skin at the end of it. Going to the spa really is a great investment for me because it totally decreases my stress and is just great for some me time. Many different theories of medicine actually encourage massage for its healing properties. Many people know that babies thrive on human touch, and if they don't receive touch at that early age, there can be complications, and that carries on into adulthood. We thrive on connection and touch and feelings and emotions, and it's so important for our holistic health. With the money that I save, following my food budget, I am going to try for the year 2017 to go either get a massage or a facial every other month. I think every month for me just feels a little excessive right now, especially for my lifestyle. I mean, if I think about it, I get my hair done every other month, so this is just one more thing that's kind of good for me that I'm adding to my routine. Finally, my third goal for 2017 is to have more gratitude, to be more thankful. And there is research that shows that this alone actually can decrease stress. So what I'm going to do in order to increase my gratitude is I'm going to get a journal and keep it by my bedside. And every night before I go to bed, I'm gonna write down 3 things that I am grateful for. I think this will really help put me in a positive mindset, especially before going to sleep. It will be so nice to flip back through this gratitude journal and remind myself when I'm having a bad day of all the wonderful things that I have to be grateful for in my life. So that is how I set my goals and my 3 goals for the year 2017. Please let me know what your goals are for 2017, and if you have any tips or tricks for making them stick throughout the year, I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing if you're new to my channel, and I will see you next week in my next video. Bye. When